Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Amanda and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be bulk cooking ground beef for the freezer. I also have a delicious Crockpot Southwestern Taco Chili for you. This chili is amazing and I really think you'll enjoy it. So let's get to it. Here I have 6 pounds of ground beef in a 6-quart stock pot. I'm going to put all 6 pounds of ground beef into the pot. And I just recently bought, I'm not sure what you call that tool, but it is very handy. It broke up the hamburger meat really well, so I highly recommend it. I found it at Walmart. It was like $4, I think. So I'm just breaking all of this meat up and getting it starting to brown. You're just going to want to kind of move it around every so often so that you get it all evenly cooked. You're probably going to have to let it simmer a little bit at times. That's what I do. I kind of walk away from it for a little while, then I come back, break it up again, and that type of thing. Then once it's fully cooked, I scoop it out into 9x13 pans. I've got 2 pans that I'm using today. I've lined them with paper towels to soak up any additional grease or anything. Placing it into these pans just helps it to cool a little more quickly. You could even use sheet pans if you want to. That would help a lot too. Just however you want to make sure it gets cool is fine. But this is what works for me, so this is what I've done here. Oh, and there's Benji, our dog. He's smelling the ground beef, so he's like, can I have a bite? He even almost just gives you those little puppy dog eyes. Now I'm just scooping the ground beef into sandwich bags. 2 cups is equal to a pound of meat cooked, but I just kind of eyeball it. That always seems to work well for us. Now once these are done, you place them in a freezer bag and then place them in your freezer to pull out whenever you need them for anything. Tacos, spaghetti, chili, soups, anything that you need to use it for. There are so many uses and it is such a huge time saver not to have to drag a pan out to brown ground beef every time you want to cook it, something with ground beef. So it's a great time saver. Now we're going to start the Crockpot Southwestern Taco Chili. So here we have 2 cans of chili beans, 2 8-ounce packages of Velveeta shreds, a package of mild taco seasoning, about 1.5 pounds of cooked ground beef, a teaspoon of cumin, a can of cream style corn, 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes, which we're not going to use quite all of those, and a can of green chilies. I'm kind of subbing that out for Rotel, so we'll talk about that when I put that in there. It won't be quite all those tomatoes we use. So these ingredients are going to make this delicious Southwestern Taco Chili. So I'm just going to place all of these ingredients into the crock pot. And while I do that, I just want to talk to you about how easy having that ground beef in the freezer to pull out and make this is. This may have taken me 5 minutes to put in the crock pot, if that. And you can do this in even larger amounts than I did in my bulk cooking example. I usually actually do 10 to 20 pounds. And that gives me quite a few meals to be able to make out of that. And all I do each time is just pull it out of the freezer, thaw it in the microwave, or maybe, toss it in some soup or whatever I'm doing. And it just really saves so much time. And it's so convenient to have it on hand. I highly recommend it. So definitely let me know if you already do any kind of bulk cooking with your hamburger meat and what you think of that. If you haven't tried it, definitely, give it a try and let me know what you think. It just really has, helped us a lot. So I'm just finishing up adding these ingredients. You'll notice that I don't usually add any additional salt and things like that to mine. So keep that in mind if you make any of these recipes. If you need extra salt or if you don't want to use no salt added, type things, that's perfectly fine. Everybody likes something different. So make sure that you just take that into account when you don't see me add additional salt, that if you want salt, go ahead and add you some more in there, or pepper or whatever else you'd like to. So like I said before, I did not have Rotel on hand, so I'm actually subbing in petite diced tomatoes, a can of green chilies. The Rotel their cans are 10 ounces each, and so these were 14-ounce cans, so I felt like about 1.5 cans would be enough. So that's what I did here, and that turned out great. So I wouldn't hesitate to use that, you know, at all ever again. That was actually the first time I tried that substitution, but I was pretty sure it would work. So I'm just kind of stirring it up a little here to try to kind of mix in those spices, but it was pretty thick, so I wasn't very successful at that. But it's going to end up cooking in the crock pot for 3 hours on high, or you can do you know, it on low for longer. Mine actually ended up probably being done maybe around 2.5 hours. It was nice and bubbly. I went ahead and let it go the full 3, just, you know, to make sure everything got heated well and it was nice and good and hot. But this soup, oh my word, I can't even explain. It is so good. The original recipe that I was given to by a friend actually called it cheeseburger crockpot soup. But after having it again today, and I've had it a few times before, I just thought, you know, I just don't feel like that's the most adequate name for it. I feel like it needs to be called something else, because it really is almost like a taco-y type soup, but at the same time it is very cheesy. It's got that kind of Southwestern with the corn and things like that, so I felt like Southwestern Taco Chili was a good fit for this soup. As I'm stirring this, you can just see how cheesy this soup is. We didn't really add any additional liquid besides the cream style corn, the liquid that was in the beans, and of course the tomatoes. So it's not got just a ton of liquid, but that cheese melts down and makes it just so cheesy and delicious. We really love it every time we make it, so I definitely recommend it. Since this video is a lot about, you know, the beginning was bulk cooking, I'm curious, do any of y'all cook in bulk? If so, what do you like to cook in that? Leave that in the comments below if you have any things you do like that. So we serve this with whatever anybody wants. If you want extra cheese, sour cream, chips, all kinds of good things you can put on it, guacamole, avocado. I actually topped mine with some tortilla strips and some sour cream, and it was perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I love to read your comments. It just makes my day. I just have to say, I appreciate so much all of your support. It has literally blown me away. I so much appreciate, you know, everyone visiting my channel. It has been a wonderful welcome to beginning my YouTube journey. I hope you all will return again. I've got lots of great recipes, delicious ideas coming up. Keep an eye out for that. I'll have another What's for Dinner posted on Wednesday, so just watch out for that. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great start of your week as well. See you next time.